guys, so today Friday we'll be doing analysis on Euro USD, and if you check the past videos, you see Euro USD playing exactly as we predicted. You saw last week. Okay, so first thing we need to do, in order to understand the directional bias of the market, that is to know the strength of the market, you will need to start from the higher time frame. That is where you need you can get the real direction of the market. So for Euro USD, when we check Euro USD on the weekly time frame, what do we see? We see price give a market structure. You understand? Yes, a break of structure around this level. So price give a break of structure, a weekly break of structure. You know that it is a weekly time frame that is moving the trend. You see, here's a weekly lower low, and here's a weekly lower high. So now, here's an internal structure shift here. Here's a market structure shift, a weekly market structure shift. And if you go to the daily time frame, you can see very well. Oh, go to the daily time frame. I already did analysis on the market, so so what I'm doing now is to guide us so we can trade along with the directional bias. We can trade the directional bias and also trade along with the trend. So when you go on the daily time frame here, what do we see for daily time for Euro USD? Like I told you, Euro USD is bearish, so we should not be looking for any buys. You understand? Euro USD is bearish because why? Euro USD give it active break of structure. You see the daily time frame breaking a structure. You can see here, there's an active break of structure, market structure shift here. You see this internal structure shift change from bearish to bullish, from bullish to bearish. You see the overall trend is bearish. Here is a daily pullback, price coming to this order block to grab liquidity, and you see when price grab liquidity around this level, going up with the series of with the internal strength, series of higher lows and higher low. When price grab liquidity, price gave a pattern around here. You see here's a double bottom around here. If you check on the weekly time frame, you can see very well. You check on the weekly time frame, you go to your line chart. You have seen the double bottom. This is what I'm taking. And a double top. Here's a double top I'm telling you guys about, and you have a break of neckline. So now we just need to focus on the internal trend, trading along with the trend. You understand? So now we are bearish. You see here's a break of lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low. So like I told you guys on the previous video, we should be looking only for sales on Euro USD. It was last week. It was last week when price gave a break of structure here. That was NFP. Price gave a break of structure around here. So price pulled back here. So we waited for price to come at to our point of interest. Here was our point of interest. I was targeting this other block around here that gave this market structure shift. You understand? So for us to know, there are two kind of pullbacks. Based on my strategy here, I'll be applying the 5 concept. You understand? I must see the 5 criteria before I take a trade. That's why I'm not taking any trade on Euro USD since. You saw here. Yeah, when price give a new lower low, I have an active break of structure 1. Wait for price to come to our point of interest, and price already our points of interest. So I saw this market yesterday around here. I did not take a trade. Why? Because when price coming to our point of interest, you see price give an imbalance, an internal structure shifts. You see, if this was just a candlestick, if it was just a 4 hours candlestick that pulled to this level, pull back to this other block, then we should be waiting for a pattern and a candlestick confirmation. But the fact that price give an imbalance around here, that is start going up with a series with an internal structure with the internal bullish structure to the upside, you see. So I said, like I've been saying, when there is an imbalance, when it's an imbalance, wait for a market structure shift. And if you take a trade that price give an imbalance without a market structure shift, that will likely not go to your TP. You see, the fact that price is an imbalance around here, see what price the price faked around it, price give a fake around this level. Let me go to the 2 hours, 1 hour. Okay, here's it. I say, okay, we need to wait for a market structure. So that is for this internal structure to change bearish to bullish. So I was just monitoring price around here. Here was the last higher low that gave a break of structure. So I was waiting for price to break this last higher low. You see, price was just range around here. Then yesterday we had a break of structure. It was a free break of structure. You understand? I understood this why, because price did not grab liquidity around this level. You see, if price would have pull up like this, if price will pull up, we will sit waiting, pull up, grab liquidity, then before giving this break of structure, then I will have considered this this level around here. That will be a perfect break of structure. But if you check very well, price did not grab liquidity. You see, it is not balanced. You understand? When you look at it very well, it's not really balanced. You see, price give a fair break of structure, now targeting our order block around this level, sweeping this liquidity from here, forming now a double bottom. You understand? So now we will not still be looking for a sell around here, because if we check to a 2 hours time frame, it's the same thing price doing around here. This is what the same thing price is doing now. This is what happened again here. You understand? We need to see a good pattern. You understand? We need to see a good pattern or a good break of structure. The fact that we know that we are going to the downtrend and price will give a break of structure or a market structure, a good market structure before we go. We only need to see what price we do. You understand? You don't trade because you feel or you know that price will do that. So till when price give that, you will see it very well before we can trade. You understand? Because if you do, all of us know that yes, okay, price will do this, price will do this, and you start selling from this point. You see, if you start selling from this point, whereas there is an imbalance around here, price, there's a possibility that price will still go down because it's our point of interest. You understand? But we are just following our rules. Price can still come here around this level because you see there's an open demand here and there's an open demand level around here because there's an imbalance. You see, break of resistance level. Yeah, price still bullish. So we'll wait for price. This is what we're waiting for price to do. Price, if price come down like this, you understand, if start moving in the series of lower lows and lower highs, you just have a break and retest. You understand? We just have a break and retest around this level. Go. So if price would have pulled up like this, if price would have pulled up to this level, grab this liquidity very well, and the double top and the candlestick confirmation on the 4 hours, then I could send a signals around this for this trading. So if you see in our Telegram channel, and open our Telegram here, I was waiting for price to pull back around this level. I'm sure that it's not worth disturbing. So let's continue. Okay. Now, if price give a break and retest around this level, we'll be waiting now to sell at an internal lower high. You understand? We'll sell at a lower high at a resistance level. You understand? So just be patient. Just wait and see what price we do. You understand? If price give us that, then we'll go. If you look on the daily and the 4 hours time frame, I've seen the day what was supposed to be waiting on the 1 hour time frame and the confirmation pattern. But this is if you check on the 15-minute or the 1 hour, you see price is still bullish. Why? This last higher low, here's a higher low that give an active break of structure. So we cannot be selling around here when there is an active break of structure. Wait for a market structure shift to pull to the downside, then price will retest around here, that will start selling from a lower low. And even when price do this, you wait now for a confirmation. I will wait for a confirmation before selling to the downside. So you just have to be patient. You look at what price did here. You see this last lower high that gave a break of structure. Okay, here's a break of structure around here. There's a break of structure around this level. The fact that there was an imbalance, we're supposed to wait for price to pull back, give a market structure. So if you see when you go to the smaller time frame, you can see all that. But when you go to the 1 hour, 4 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours time frame, you will not see this. Now you know that when this happened on the higher time frame, there is more guarantee that price will go to the price will go with the direction. These 5 minute, 15-minute time frame, I'll only use them for chart pattern. You understand? I only use them for chart pattern. So we should be expecting only sell for Euro USD. I'm not sure that sale will happen today. that sell should be on Monday, because now it's already we're already at London, a New York session, so price is not going to sell today. Or if price gives this break of structure around here, a break, then we're waiting for a retest on Monday. So for Monday, I'll update you guys about the trade. We should just wait patiently. You know what I'm saying? The structure is still bearish. There's an active break of structure, and when you have an active break of structure, there is no need to be going against the trend, not trade around the trade against the directional bias. You should be looking more for a sell opportunities and not a buy opportunities. Listen, where you check on the daily, Euro USO will sell from here. Have you see that the daily time frame is the one responsible for giving the change of character and the 4 hours time frame. So that's why we need to wait for 4 hour time frame to give a change of character and a good pattern before we start looking for opportunities here. You cannot go to the 1 hour, 1 minute time frame, 5 minute time frame and be looking for confirmation, whereas it is a daily time frame that is moving the trend and the weekly time frame. You see, so it's still bearish. So based on my analysis, I know Euro USD we pull to this level. It's about to give a new lower low. Have you seen there's a lower low, lower high? So we'll come and take out this last lower low to give a new lower low around this level. So waiting for Euro USD around this level. So Euro USD bearish. Have you seen this other demand level here? This last higher low that gives a break of structure. You understand? So we're waiting for Euro USD to drop right up to this downside. So that's the analysis for Euro USD.